guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. I haven't done broadcast for a while, but anyway, still have so many topics I want to talk to many of you. But start with this one I found quite interesting today. So anyway, before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today, I want to talk about a topic called how do you go through the tough time. The reason I want to talk about this is that I did a broadcast earlier this morning, like earlier today, talking. Basically, I mentioned I have gone through a lot of tough time, like people usually come to me and complain about. Like people would tell me, well, I have a very abusive childhood. I was abandoned. Nobody loved me, and I was ugly. I was, incapable. I was sick. I was blah, blah, blah. Believe it or not, I've gone through pretty much, most of it. Of course, there are some extreme case. I wasn't that. I'm not going to say I have it all. No, I didn't have it all. Thank God. But, I did go through a really rough childhood and into my adulthood and, dealing with all kind of people, good and bad, a lot of bad, to a point I think this is my life. My life would just imagine the people who come from very abusive background, and then they most likely would think very little of themselves and then believe they deserve very little of themselves. You know what I mean? So I would say that's very typical me. So one earlier broadcast I was telling people, I basically discussed with people saying how loving yourself is very important. It took me really long time to realize if one does not love him or herself, it's very often during the process of spiritual learning, you will very most likely get influenced by other people's voice, or the vision you see, or the sight you see, or even a message from God, message from demon, whatever you call it, right? You'll be very easily influenced by them. So that's what I say, loving yourself is very important. Now I'm going to bring back to the topic. So up through my childhood and then up through my whole spiritual journey, I've gone through even the process when I was writing my book, right? It was really tough for me. So one of you asked me, so how do I go through those tough times? Because they are now 1 year, 2 years. We're talking about 10, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. So how do I go through it? At the moment I thought about it, and this is what my answer to that particular reader. I say, the faith I had 10 years ago come from the encouragements from 10 years now. You know what I mean? 10 years after. Why do I say that is? I remember when I was going through the tough time, I continuously believe or hearing a voice, whether you guys call God or you call higher spirits or, angel, whatever you call it. I'm continuously hearing a voice saying it would be okay. It'll be okay. Everything will be okay. It'll be okay. You're good. Everything's good. I try not to go to my sensitive area. So anyway, that voice goes through a tough time with me, even when I'm alone, even when I don't. Okay. You're gonna take a while to adjust myself to say this. Even go through the time that I don't believe it's a possibility. So the reason I want to share with you is I do a lot of broadcasts and I do a lot of sharing with you guys. It's mostly because I know what it's like and I know what it feels like when you feel very helpless. Does that make sense to you? So many of you, I understand you do not hear it and you do not hear the future of it and you don't know what's going to happen to you. I hope in some way I'm able to be that voice for you. Does that make sense? Because you couldn't hear it, you couldn't see it, and I'm hoping I myself would be that voice for you, right? But if you couldn't see me, you couldn't hear me, I hope, I say this so many times, in the form of spirit, you are not limited by space and time. As a spirit form, you can, of course, when you're strong enough, you are able to go back to your past and heal your past. If you cannot see where the future is going to land it or where is it heading, all you have to do is go back to your past and then heal that past, heal that wound from the past. Very miraculously, you will feel somehow, some way, by you going back to the, now I'm looking like a mess. Give me a second. Oh my God. Okay, that's embarrassing. Let me restart it again. If you guys can go to the past and somehow work yourself out and then heal that past, like the wound that you've been experiencing in the past, like miraculously you feel somehow, some way you find that peace within yourself right here, right now. By continuously exercising it, you are able to know sometime, even in the middle of helpless mode, like you simply don't see a future of it, you feel that strong sense of everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. It could be very possibly come from what you call God or higher spirit God, or it simply come from your future self. Someone in your future saying, you know what, hang on to it because I'm here and I'm okay and you have to believe me. So at this time, when people are feeling helpless, a lot of time people come to me and say, yeah, my friends, they go to their desperate situation of life and then now they totally believe in God, they're rolling their eyes, say, oh my God, they're so desperate, they're so into it, they don't take any suggestion. In my point of view, let them be, let them be, because they've gone through the periods of time, they have nothing to hang on to, they need to believe in something. They simply don't believe they have that power to make that change. At this moment, if they're able to let any greater force or greater self or even someone else to give them that strength and let them believe, you know what, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do this because God will be with me. Angel will be with me or whoever will be with me because I can do this. Then so be it. Basically, that's what I said. Then so be it. But for many of you, which I believe, you are stuck in a relationship like you don't see a way out, or you're stuck in a situation that you feel like such a mess, or you probably feel all abandoned, all alone, you have to do everything by yourself. What I'm here is to say, in a spirit form, you're not limited by time and space. If right now you feel like weakness, you feel like helpless, and you simply don't know what to do, my recommendation to you or my suggestion to you is, instead of always seeking help from someone else, you can simply borrow some strength from your future self. Borrow some strength. If you don't know what your future self is telling you, if you couldn't hear what your future self is saying, then make one up. You know what? Make one up, because that strong belief, you know what? Everything will be okay. You know what? Next guy is going to be the better one. You know what? I deserve to be loved. I'm going to meet that someone. You know what? I'm going to have that piece of steak. I'm sick and tired of having salad and soup, as my main dish. I'm going to have that piece of steak. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Make one up. Because that strong belief, that you have so strongly is going to lead you and guide you and help you to create that future that you always wanted. Anyway, just brought it up and share with you guys really quickly. I didn't totally not expecting me to be a mess like this. But again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, next time. Bye.